All right, we're going to go ahead and open up this meeting with a pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A roll call.
Dan Pillow.
Here.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Here.
Kathy Byess.
Here.
Ann Pillow.
Here.
Al Glick.
Here.
Pam Jackson.
Here. All right. We'll go ahead and start off with clerk's report.
You have the minutes from the July 7th, or I'm sorry, the June 17th meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from July 17th.
June 17th.
June.
Sorry, I had
had
July
that
on my
changed on
paper.
my sheet.
Sorry about that.
I got July.
I second the motion.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy Byess. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe. Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you received a set of minutes that I missed the date, but I made it up today and copied them for you from June 24th, the joint special meeting with the Board of Public Affairs.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from June the 24th.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you have minutes from the emergency council meeting, which was held on July 9th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July the 9th.
I'll second. Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Jennifer Wiehe. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe. Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yeah.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You received a copy of Pay Ordinance 7A. This was for biweekly payroll, which was paid on June the 28th between council meetings. Disbursed from the general fund was $13,834.14. From the sewer fund, $1,476. For the water fund, $1,476. For combined total funds of $16,786.14.
I'll make a motion to accept ordinance number 24-7A.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ann Pillow, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote. Got it?
Yeah, when I copied it, it just printed on both sides. Okay, it was by Ann
Second by Al.
and Al.
No discussion.
Okay. Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe. Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you received 7B, again for biweekly payroll, which was paid on July the 12th. Disbursed from the general fund, $13,333.70. From the sewer fund, $1,476. From the water fund, $1,531.35, for a combined total of $16,341.05.
I'll make a motion to approve 7B 2024.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Pam Jackson, seconded by Kathy Byess. Is there any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And you have 7C, and this is for monthly salaries. From the general fund, $8,205.23. From the water fund, $1,258.82 for a combined total of $4,464.05. And you need to note item 11 is on there. I didn't know what council's pleasure was going to be. I don't know if you want to wait and vote on this one a little bit, or...
Probably would.
So what that's the street commissioner pay.
Yeah, it's for the street commissioner's pay and
405. I think I'd hold off on that one for a while.
place.
I think I'd hold off on that one for a minute until we figured it out.
Yeah.
Or do you want to make a motion to,
Did he work the hours? Should he be paid on number 11?
well, he would have been here
That
for
was the monthly.
8 days, and then when you extended it to, you know, I mean, I did check with the solicitor, and he told
Okay.
me to have the check sent here to me until
Okay.
council made a decision if you wanted to prorate it. And then I need to know if you're prorating it for the 8 days out of the month, or if you're gonna, until this meeting. I mean, you know, you could make a motion to adopt it and then hold that one until you discuss it. I mean,
You could just table it if you needed to.
Say again?
Can we
You could
just table it for
if
now,
you needed to.
Yeah,
for later discussion?
later discuss it.
Or
See how everything's going with that end of it first?
do they need a motion to do that, Bob, or can they just come back to it?
They need to table it for right now, to vote on tabling it,
Okay.
then they can bring it up whenever they so desire.
I'll make a motion to table that pay ordinance.
No second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, seconded by Al Glick. Any discussions? No discussions, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Okay, then you have 7D, and this is for accounts payable. Dispersed from the general fund, $15,691.18. From the state highway fund, $233.21. From the water fund, $265. From the We Thrive Fund, $80.55, for a combined total of $16,269.94.
I'll make a motion to approve 7D 2024.
No second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, seconded by Al Glick. Does anybody have any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe, Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You received a copy of the mayor's monthly financial statement from Mayor's Court as of July 1st. Total collected city amount was $1,562. Sent into the state revenue for court costs, indigent fees, defense support fund, victims of crime, and drug law enforcement, $385. Other court costs was indigent driver alcohol treatment fund, $15, for a combined total of all funds of $1,962.
Make a motion, we receive the mayor's monthly report for the month of June.
I'll second.
Motion by Dan Pillow, seconded by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Last Monday, I sat in for the water board clerk, And these are the minutes from that meeting. This is just for your information. When she returns from her vacation, I will forward you the whole minute packet. I didn't have it to send out to you. But this should have been included in your online packet you received.
July 8th.
Yes. And it was kind of long because I was there and it was over an hour. But you have a copy of the appropriation status and also one of, you should have the revenue. If you didn't get it, let me know and I can forward those to you by email. And I believe that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Margaret. All right, council, before I go any further with this, I would like to introduce, we have a guest in the audience that's on the agenda tonight. Joe from Crossroads. Would you like to address council?
Good evening, friends. Thanks for allowing me to come talk to you this evening. I think probably 6 weeks ago or so, you received from me what would be a proposal for what we hope to partner with the Village of Addyston on and other members of your community to develop a community hub in one half of the old fire station. We began serving alongside Taylor Three Rivers last year to do food in the community to those that were in need. We did that last year. And one of the things we heard from our attendees at Crossroads is that they wanted us, they desired for us as a community of Crossroads to come alongside families with vulnerable children, mental health, and other areas in the community. In discussions with Three Rivers and Jacket Cares, we identified Addyston as a community that we Crossroads wanted to metaphorically plant the flag in. To come alongside all of you, other faith-based organizations, any nonprofits, business entities, to create a space that it will be a safe place for our children to spend time. Not like many communities in our cities, we lack resources that can keep kids occupied. We've got kids on the streets without things to do. We have children that attend Three Rivers and they, because of transportation, don't participate in some after-school activities. Jacket Cares and Three Rivers envisions partnering to do a community hub where they might, on some rhythm, provide some after-school activities for children in this community, in the community of Addyston. So we at Crossroads, earlier in June, began coming alongside in a meaningful way. We had our City Serve Day in June, and we worked on Miss Green's house as an example. We placed some steps for her, did some painting. We were in the park and did some planting and weeding, and we were in the old firehouse, and on one half of that, cleaned some of that up. Those efforts on that day were kind of the first step in saying, look, we want to have a trusting relationship. We want to serve your community. We want to hear what your voices are, what your citizens' voices are, what the voices of the community are as to needs that exist in the village of Addyston. And are there ways that we can come alongside you to help meet some of those needs? We mobilize people really, really well. So we have lots of hands that are ready to do some work. But the community hub, we'd like to work with you all to develop that building, the old firehouse, to be used not only by Crossroads on some rhythm, potentially twice a month to begin with, and once a week, and create a space where other organizations that you would like to have come in, or that you would have come in and want to use the space, whether that's other social service organizations, whether that's there's organizations in the community that want space to bring services to your children. And we also envision not just for the kids. We have a number of elderly people in our community here in the village of Addyston that we want to provide resources for them as well, whether that is activities to engage them, a place to come together to be and share and have community. So that's why I'm here today, just to continue discussion and dialogue about that. Just to say that we are committed to the village of Addyston. We are committed to come alongside you. And we also don't want to come into a community and say, this is what we have, take what we have, take what we want to bring to you. We've heard that a community hub and a place for people of your community to come together in activities is a need. And if that's the case, then I just propose that we move forward in dialogue and make that happen. I'll say that we're willing to put some money to it as well, so we can talk about what that looks like as we go forward. But you received what our vision was 6 weeks or so ago, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone may have. I think I met with 6 of you just in passing. A couple came down when we were distributing food over the last few weeks, and the mayor and I have met a few times, and Mr. Kelly and we met last week. So I want you to hear my heart, which is representative of the heart of our community, to raise the water for everyone and to be a blessing in this community. So I don't know how this works. Any questions? Do you all email me? Do they have
Anyone
questions?
want
What
to
do we
speak to you
do?
right now and ask questions?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
I mean, the big thing, thank you for doing that anyway in the community. I mean, that was a big thing for you guys to come out and help some of the families in the communities. We really appreciate that as council, so definitely we appreciate that and thank you for that. I think we're all looking forward into moving forward and getting something done with the old firehouse and doing something for the kids in the community, and I see it nothing but positive. So that's what I see out of
So
it.
that's why I'm like, how do you move forward?
Yeah, absolutely excited, Joe, about the partnership. I think you said you had met with our solicitor, so
Yeah.
there will be some guidelines and information that we'll get from that meeting as to how that'll be governed and so forth.
Anyone else?
One other thing I'll add, that as we go through the process, as Mr. Kelly gets in writing what needs to be in writing for us to move forward, I haven't, nor has anyone from Crossroads met with members of your community, the businesses or the churches, because I don't want to do that until I know that we've all reached across and said, yes, let's move forward, let's do this in a healthy way, make sure that everybody's satisfied with what we're going to do, what we say, and you're going to do what you say, and once that happens, then we'll pretty aggressively begin meeting with people in the community that you all may point us to say, hey, we don't want this to be a Crossroads thing. We want this to be a Village of Addyston thing, and we just want to come alongside you. So it's going to take everybody's engagement to do that. So we're just waiting to hear back to start moving forward in a meaningful way to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We good?
Yep,
Awesome.
thank you.
And
Appreciate
I'm
that.
leaving. I have an 8-year-old waiting to watch the home run derby with me.
All right, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and go to Bob. We have some ordinances we need to deal with.
Have these all been distributed?
No.
No.
First ordinance is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint agreement between the Village of Addyston and the Board of County Commissioners of Hamilton County, Ohio, to administer the community revitalization grant awarded for infrastructure improvements.
Could you just give us a little recap?
Yep.
Thank you.
That's what I was getting ready to.
Thank you.
So this one we applied for as well. This is part of the US 50 dining project. So we'd already been awarded the 300. This 140 is good for any it can go for construction costs, but it goes for the engineering and drawing and everything else that needs done in the process. So this one was it's going toward the same project.
You did say dining.
Well, it's the extension of Church Street, but the
Okay.
project in a whole is called
Sure.
the Dining Road Improvements.
Okay.
It's the extension of Church Street into Route 50. So we received another $140,000 toward that project.
Great.
That would be this one, correct? The 140?
Yeah, this one is for 140.
I'll make a motion that sorry.
Yeah, you passed the 300,000 when we got, and then we have
Yeah.
another one coming down the pipeline.
I'll make a motion that the rules be suspended, said ordinance be read 3 times by caption only, and declared an emergency.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint agreement between the Village of Addyston and the Board of County Commissioners of Hamilton County, Ohio, to administer the community revitalization grant awarded for infrastructure improvements. Second reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint agreement between the Village of Addyston and the Board of County Commissioners of Hamilton County, Ohio, to administer the community revitalization grant awarded for infrastructure improvements. Third reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint agreement between the Village of Addyston and the Board of County Commissioners of Hamilton County, Ohio, to administer the community revitalization grant awarded for infrastructure repairs.
I'll make a motion to approve as read.
Second it.
Motion by Ann Pillow, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
This will be number 18.
And I have an ordinance establishing house, structure, and lot numbers for Village of Addyston buildings, lots, structures, and authorizing the property maintenance official in conjunction with Village Council to number all houses, structures, lots within the Village of Addyston.
Did you get that one?
I got another one.
Yeah, it was the second one that come down.
Structure, then we got this one.
And then you'll have another one after this one.
Which one you about?
We're talking about the addresses,
No, yeah, this one. Gotcha.
the one that we need in place so we can get our mess fixed up.
This one. Yeah.
This is one I sent to you guys a couple weeks ago. It was brought up in a previous council meeting, and then it was supposed to be at the special meeting. That didn't happen, so I'm bringing it back to this one.
I'd like to make the motion that we read it by title only 3 times and declare an emergency.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I have some questions.
Okay.
Do we have, I know we want to get this done, but do we have any semblance, I know it was worked on by some people before, do we have any semblance of what this is going to affect, who it's going to affect, and how it's going to affect all the citizens of the village, myself included? Because with the changes of that, that means you're going to have to change your addresses with all that you've been affiliated with down through the years. And I'm not necessarily against it, but
That means mine will change. A lot of people's will change.
You mean yours will change?
Probably.
That
If we
means
get
mine
down
will
this
change.
way. Yeah. Well, I don't know until we get, like I said, we've got our
That's
star
what
map up there.
I'm just trying to get and just an idea if we should make this in order to move forward and.
I mean, we should always have something to establish that we own the address. And we have nothing that establishes, like any community, you have something that the community has that if need be, say they have construction or something else, or an address is messed up, they have the ability to do that. And that's what this is about.
Down on Three Rivers Parkway, you got River Road, Three Rivers Parkway, Main
Main
Street. I mean, there's like 3 different addresses, like my rental property is 380 River Road. My address is 378 Three Rivers Parkway, but with the Board of Elections, it was under 378 Main Street or whatever. So, but
Yeah,
my
Center
driver's
Street's
license is
bad.
Three Rivers Parkway.
Right. I mean, if you try to follow the addresses up through
You're gonna be
Second Street,
confused.
it's terrible.
I mean, then
I mean, we've got to get
We've
that
been
fixed.
confused for 100 years, but that's
They need to-
okay.
they really need to fix
That's okay.
Well, I
just
mean,
wanted-
even so, you still have like, you always have a rotation when it comes to your ambulance drivers and things. You want them to find you. I mean, to me, that's the most important.
You got
Even
two
delivery drivers
124
can't find-
Second
Yeah.
Streets.
Yeah, absolutely.
two houses.
Like I say, I'm not against it
Yeah.
in any way, but the method in which we do it, how we go about it, and do some pre-work for all the citizens, wherever they might live, so they have an idea of what's going to go on. They may have more questions than I or anybody else.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we're not just going to change them and not, confer with the citizens first. I mean, you know, but like,
Does this,
Are you saying to lay it out first and then bring it back?
that would make more sense to me. I mean, just to me, I'm just one voice to give us some sense of, you know.
And I think the purpose of this is just to get it off the dime. And so if we get it off the dime, to figure out what has to be numbered or renumbered, and then present it to council and the citizens.
well, I mean, this just gives us a
That's-
tool to do it.
I'm good with that, you know, I really am. But I didn't want this ordinance to give carte blanche to go out and change.
So I have a question. What does this do to our real estate tax duplicate and our deeds and things like that? If it says I live at 248 Main Street and my address could possibly get changed to a different number, how does it affect that? And like my will and stuff like that?
It won't affect, well, I can't say specifically for your will, but in terms of the real estate, it won't affect the real estate, and it shouldn't affect the deeds, because the deeds are conveyed by meets and bounds descriptions, and they'll just have to put at the bottom of it, if the attorney put the address in, the next attorney's gonna have to put in the current address, and then after it'll put FKA, whatever the address was, and then they'll start picking it up. But there is gonna be work on it in terms of notifying the county auditor, Board of Elections, those type of people, that certain addresses may have changed.
And all the people you do business with.
Well, I mean, it should, because I know that some council that's on here don't remember. But, you know, I'm not saying it's first responders' fault, but when an ambulance was called to my mother when she was having issues, they went to another address. My mother died on that call. So I think it is important that we get our addresses straightened out.
And I don't disagree with you.
I mean, that way, if you think it's bad with Three Rivers, River Road, Main Street, there's one where you go look at the auditor's plat and it says Lowland Road.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, where the hell's that?
Out of the boat harbor, it leads down
Yeah.
into the boat harbor.
There's actually
I didn't
one
even
and
know where that
two.
was.
It's 1 and 2 Lowland, one's behind Jeff's, or no, 1 is the harbor and then 2 is behind Jeff's. Yeah. They split that up.
I know we use Lower River Road, and there's a lot of.
Well, a lot of that was, you know, done before we had a US 50, when that was old Main Street before things got developed in the community over 100 years ago.
Yeah, because that says, on my property tax, it says Lower River Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
And our property taxes for our rental house says River Road, and the one next door, our house says Three Rivers Parkway.
I got something from the city of Cincinnati, because that says Lower River Road. and
Yep.
It's a part of Village of Addyston, but they
Right.
was thinking it was part of Cincinnati. so-
Yeah. A lot of people think River Road is Cincinnati.
Right. So,
Part of it is.
Yeah, part of it is, but not down this part.
I mean, more or less, this is just trying to get the ball rolling on
This doesn't change the addresses. The addresses cannot be changed until council decides to do it. This is just a tool to do it.
That's what I was looking for,
Yeah.
what the plan was, how we implement it.
Yeah, just to be able to get it going to figure out what we've got to do to be able to change them. From what I read on there.
That was my discussion, Mayor.
Okay.
We have a motion on the floor and a second.
Mayor,
Yeah.
can I ask a question on this? Am I out of order here? I'm just curious about something.
Well, usually, yeah, I get to the audience after the fact.
Okay.
But I will get to everybody. Trust me, I will. Who's the motion?
Pam made it, Al seconded.
Okay.
So you're ready for the vote.
Yep, ready for the vote then.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, an ordinance establishing house, structure, and lot numbers for the Village of Addyston buildings, lots, structures, and authorizing the property maintenance official in conjunction with Village Council to number all houses, structures, lots within the Village of Addyston. Second reading, an ordinance establishing house, structure, and lot numbers for Village of Addyston buildings, lots, structures, and authorizing the property maintenance official in conjunction with Village Council to number all houses, structures, lots within the Village of Addyston. Third reading, an ordinance establishing house, structure, and lot numbers for Village of Addyston buildings, lots, structures, and authorizing the property maintenance official in conjunction with Village Council to number all houses, structures, lots within the Village of Addyston.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Pam, second by Kathy. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
This will be number 19.
Then I have an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a contract with Jerome Brinkman for contractual maintenance services for the Village of Addyston.
Make a motion, rules be suspended, said ordinance be read by caption only 3 times and declared an emergency.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Phillips, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a contract with Jerome Brinkman for contractual maintenance services for the Village of Addyston. Second reading, an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a contract with Jerome Brinkman for contractual maintenance services for the Village of Addyston. Third reading, an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a contract with Jerome Brinkman for contractual maintenance services for the Village of Addyston.
I'll make a motion to accept as read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Al Blake, second by Ann Pillow. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
This will be number 20.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Bob. All right, before we go to committees, council, obviously we get through the audience.
Okay.
That's good with everybody.
It's fine.
Alrighty. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address we'll start this side, to address council? Did you want to address council? I'll start over here. To keep with time, I'm going to give everybody 4 minutes.
Hi, I'm Bill Seibert. I own a piece of property up on 72nd Street. I was born and raised there, but I was in here 2 months ago, I think. I'm going to get the meter installed up there, and I did talk to, I think it's Tony, one of the maintenance guys or something. I think he's on vacation this week, but he says within the next coming month, they're going to get that installed. But I was curious, Bob, when we met with you, did they ever get an engineer to come down and look at all the issues that's going on?
They did, and I'll defer to the mayor on that because she's working on that and
Which street?
on all of them with
Oh,
the
yeah, there's
upper.
definitely all of them's in a
Right.
project.
Soon as I left you and Gary O'Connor, I sent the email to the mayor
Yeah.
that the
Oh,
village
that
needed to
one,
get the
okay.
engineer
They have.
up to look at it. And so that's been ongoing
Okay.
since that time with the engineer, county officials, et cetera.
Actually, we're in with MSD at this point, and also Hamilton County has joined in the conversation now, so.
Because I know like back 15 years ago, it was an MSD issue. It caused some issue there with the sidewalk and my wall and the walkway there. I got pictures of that like in 07 or something. They were working on that, so. But we need to get that meter installed if we're going to do a meter. That's totally up to you guys. But the sidewalk thing, when I was talking to the maintenance guy, he was only planning on replacing maybe 2 blocks of that. And I told him I thought my understanding with the council meeting was we were going to go that whole length, which is probably about 5 squares or something. Now, if you go all the way to the alley, I'm only worried about right there where the water keeps getting in there. That wall's moved more, the sidewalk tucked down more. And I think it was just that real bad rain that caused all those issues. So if he's going to do that meter, I'd like to at least get that portion of that sidewalk taken care of.
And curved.
And, well, you got that temporary curve, which how that worked wonders. But in a heck of a hard rain,
Oh, yeah.
it comes right over
Oh,
this thing.
Yeah, when it rained like that last time, it rained.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that has been very, very helpful, it really has. And those drains up there are still clogged. That one comes off the hill, there's debris still in there. And then I guess it's
At the top of the
got to
alley.
be stored at the top of that third alley, yeah, right there. There's 2 drains right there, one that's in the road there, and then one's like on that hillside. They're pretty well clogged up. So, well, that was my biggest concern here, but the question I had on the, if I can bring it up now, about
Yeah, I know, you are at 3
changing
minutes.
we've owned that house for forever. I'm going to be 72, and I was born and raised there, so we've owned that house a long time. So it's 72nd Street, not 72, but it's 72nd Street. Well, there used to only be 5 houses on 2nd Street. And over the years, what's happened there is that everybody had their original number as these lots were sold off and houses were built in there. That's where the problem became. They were just squeezing them in there. Because I know there's people that live real close to me, they're like 165 or something. I can't even vote on it, but I would think, that's why I rudely interrupt you. I didn't mean to do
That's
that.
okay.
But, I just thought maybe something of that magnitude, you might want to let the people of the village vote on it. I don't know if that's something you can do or not, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know. But that's it, that's all I'm going for. Trying to get 70 seconds.
Thank you for your patience, man.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's-
there's 2 124s
yeah.
up there on 2nd Street, and they're catty corner from one another.
Oh,
But there's
really?
Yeah.
2 of them's 124. One's across the street from the other, but.
I used to feel special until you told me that. Well, thank you for listening to me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone from this side would like to address council?
Marcia Tenenfeld, I'm with the VFW, And I happened to be driving by, coming home from Harrison to see my mom, and I noticed that there's some rides in the parking lot. I know you guys are having something this weekend, which the VFW and the auxiliary wasn't aware of. We don't keep up with it. There's carnival rides in our parking lot. We just got it redone.
Today?
Yeah, they're there now.
I didn't even see it.
I have a picture of it.
I didn't either. Well, I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I happened to be
But I
driving
didn't know
down.
they were supposed to be dropping anything off.
Yeah, we have bingo on Wednesday, and there's a sign that says private property, and they will be
Yeah.
towed if they don't move them.
We didn't know they were there.
When did they drop
I didn't
it?
see
Because when I
nothing. I
cut
was
grass
down
all
there.
day,
Must
they
have just
weren't
did it.
there.
Yeah, they must
Yeah, I was down there a while ago, I didn't see nobody.
Yeah, well, they're there.
Yeah. Good idea to give Mr. Dave a call and let him know.
I just want to know, because there's a posted sign says private property. You know, if you guys would have told us, they probably would have let you guys park them there. But with bingo coming up and our crowds are getting bigger, we need our parking space.
Oh, we didn't.
They just put it in the wrong
did
place.
it.
A letter was sent to post.
It probably was. I'm not going to say it wasn't.
I mailed it.
Yeah, it probably was. I'm not going to say it wasn't. I just didn't get the information. I called George. I was in the hallway figuring out who knew about it, who didn't before I came in here and said, okay, listen up. You know?
They just was
So-
delivered to the wrong place. That's all I could
Yeah, he
say.
should have been delivered in a park.
Right,
Yeah.
they should have been over there in the first place.
Yeah. So
they
I just wanted to see if we can move them. No
Yep,
big deal.
yep, I'm sure they'll move
All
them.
right.
As soon as
Thank
we
you.
bring it to their attention.
Thank you.
I didn't see them.
Anyone else from this side?
Yeah, when the village cuts the grass, can they stay away from my back fence? They tear that whole fence line up down through there. I put a gate in, I go out there, I weed eat, and I cut one lawnmower width so that they don't have to get close. But yet they hang it up with those riding mowers, and I had a guy today, it's $400 for me to fix my fence down through there, just from them being careless. I just want them to be more careful. Just stay away from the fence. I'll cut next to it.
Perfectly good request.
And then the house across the street from me, is that on your list of things to, not directly, but diagonal where the weeds are?
Weeds are growing up. I don't think that one actually made it to an ODOD list because it's not been condemned.
I thought somebody had bought that at one time.
See, that's
seen
what I
them. They
thought.
come up there and cut all the grass up there at one time, and that's the last time they've been there. Because they cleaned it up, most of it.
No, I cut it one time for that lady. And she didn't pay me, so.
They might have been you.
That's why it's overgrown. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, Bush.
And also, I don't know if the trash is still there, but up on the corner of Bowman Lane, there's been trash
It's been there for a while.
for a month or better.
I don't know who decided to dump that there, but yeah. All right. I guess we're just gonna have to get to it ourselves.
Have they been notified, do you know, Mayor? That they
Oh,
can't
yeah.
Put that stuff there on?
Well,
even
and
know
then
who put it
know who really put it, we know who probably put it there, but
Hmm.
That's that person's been cited.
It seems like
and
that
she,
property.
has it been cited?
They've been cited, yeah.
See, I thought so, but, and then it still sits there. So we'll probably have to clean it up ourselves. All right. Do you have anything else, Butch? All right, thank you, Butch. Anyone else on this side? You got over here? All right. We're gonna go ahead and go back to committees to finish off here. Dan,
Thanks, Mayor.
and I'll come back to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Mayor. I have a couple of items to bring before council. Just an update on the shelter, and I'm not sure whether Ann has that in her report or not.
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, Parks and Playgrounds. But they are starting the process, and they've got it formed up, trying to wait on good weather.
Tomorrow they're supposed to do it. Tomorrow they're supposed to dig the holes and set the posts.
Yeah. Also, Al has some information about his shrewdness as a negotiator to get some other things done in the park by this company. We're excited to get those things done. We just didn't have the have them on our radar to get done this quickly. Al, you want to?
Oh, they're gonna, where the adult swings are, they're gonna put pads underneath of them. They're just gonna throw that in, because they're taking a couple posts out. They're gonna run 2 by 12 instead of 2 by 10s. So that takes 2 posts out, so that pays them for the money for the concrete, and they're gonna do the concrete and help us out with where the adult swings are. Because one of the swings are kind of bent over like this.
Yeah.
So they're gonna straighten it back up and then pour it with concrete around it with a pad, not charge us for it.
So do we have cameras up yet for all this stuff that's going on that's being put in?
The one that.
No cameras
The
yet?
one that I thought we had in place was the
Deer cameras?
deer cameras.
That's
So I can
all,
al-
that just takes
Is
shots.
somebody gonna be
now.
watching the concrete? 'Cause, you know, as soon as they,
Well,
what happened to the
I talked to
basketball
him
court?
about that, and I said, look, I said, we had an issue with the basketball court. And I said, so we had to babysit it when we poured that last one, because we had to tear it up because the kids destroyed it. I said, you know, just let me know when you're gonna pour it, and we'll go over there. We're more than happy to go over and babysit. It doesn't matter. He said, well, no matter what, I won't leave until it's set up.
Wow.
I said, all right, bud. As long as you guarantee me that, because I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna babysit it too anyway. So it doesn't matter.
So where are we with the cameras though?
You would have to ask Lisa where we're at with the cameras. I know the electric's supposed to be started tomorrow. So they should be pulling wires through the poles tomorrow. And that's what's gonna give us our power to the top of the pole to have lights and the cameras at the top of the poles. So that should be started tomorrow by Brennan, as far as I talked to him.
About the
so.
cameras, Lisa, have you heard anything else?
Yeah, he's waiting.
He's
We need
waiting.
electric.
I'm just worried about the
No, I did
vandalism.
talk to him, and I also had sent what he'd sent me to Margret, so that we're ready to, I told him to go ahead and start getting ordered what he needs.
Okay.
Because now that he's seen the poles, because I said we need to meet again, because things have changed down there. So now that he's seen the poles, he's like, well, this is the most, you know, there's 3 poles, he said, that are the most adequate to cover the entirety of the park. So I want to go with what he says, the equipment he says we need, with the porch, and then as soon as the electric's up there on said poles.
He said they start that tomorrow.
So the 2 last poles, and then the one by the firehouse needs electric at top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't know if I told you that
I think
already.
he's just gonna go ahead and put electric at the top of all of them,
Oh, okay.
because he's still gotta run the street light, the
Oh, for street lights
spotlights
too,
for
right?
the street lights on them.
Okay.
So he's just gotta run it up there anyway, so he's just gonna run another plug up there just in case we wanna put one here or there later.
Okay. Yeah, that
So
works
that was
perfect.
all in
Thank you.
his bid, and then he added some more electric to the pole over behind the firehouse, so we'd have adequate electric for
Because there
this
is a
year.
few things, yeah, that he went ahead and ordered to set
So I
aside
have
for
another
us.
question. The Veterans Memorial, has there been any talk about, you know, fixing that up where the rocks are falling and that needs to be, I mean, that should be like a priority for our veterans in the village.
I mean, we did have a discussion about that a few meetings back.
You did?
Yeah, we did have discussions about getting over there and trying to get some stuff done over there.
Yeah.
That was.
Well, it probably would help with the kids not climbing on it and sitting on top of it too.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Yeah. I know you guys were talking about maybe adding to it. Any other discussion about that for the veterans from the Gulf War, Desert Storm?
I don't know if we decided to plaque it or, you know, dedicate it to with individual plaques, or to try to put all the names on. I know Pam was working on it.
I think a couple
Yeah.
new wings on
Pam
there.
has
Couple new
been-
wings,
Yeah,
yeah.
we started, I've got some names, but I don't know how many.
Like take out the
Yeah.
huge bushes and put new wings right there.
2 new
Right.
wings to add to
Yeah,
them.
it seems like it'd be better to put,
Yeah.
yeah, I know some was missing, some names were missing,
Yeah.
and then some were, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely need to.
Yeah.
Gotta find someone that can put a couple wings on for us.
Who we have with the committees?
Yeah.
It's all-
But are you gonna put names in, Pam, or are you gonna put plaques?
Because I did talk to them down at the one we use for our engraving. They said they could probably match what we've got over there.
Oh,
Just
that's
give them a
nice.
sample. They can do it either way.
Budget again.
We just gotta approach it which way we wanna go.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went down there and got something engraved about a month ago, I said, hey, by the way, while I'm here, can you tell me? And she said, yeah.
Yeah.
See, they were familiar with the monument, what I was talking about.
Okay, that's all I have.
Mayor, I have a couple more questions concerning the shelter. We have, it's financed obviously for 3 tables in it. I just wondered what color council wanted before we ordered those. They come in very different vivid colors. We can do red, white, and blue. We can do orange, yellow, green. It doesn't matter. It's just, I want to make sure that council has an opportunity to.
Are they wood?
Are they, yeah, so they
They're
made
not
a
gonna be
rock.
wood, thank
No,
God.
no,
Good.
they will be the kind of
A metal plastic.
Like a metal.
metal with,
Yeah.
Metal with a
yeah,
coating on it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So if there's a preference, I just kind of
Something
like
ain't so easy to write on.
Huh?
Dark color, yeah, dark color ain't so easy to write on.
Yeah.
Just means you
Yeah.
get a light color to write with.
Right.
Right, or get a silver Sharpie.
Yep, I seen that,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You've already seen that was
I've seen that one for sure.
Yeah,
So,
alcohol.
Even nail polish from everything new.
gee, oh yeah, yeah. So along with that, we're just, because we're wrapping this up, it was supposed to be done today, but I spoke with Chrissy Owasco from Hamilton County Public Health, and she indicated that so many communities had called her because of the hot weather and the extraordinary amount of rain that we've had, that they're going to extend it,
Oh, good.
a bit.
So we don't have to like
Yeah.
pull our hair out to try to make this
Yeah, I
work.
turned in the final report, and that's what they were interested in, that get in today. So we get that done. So, yeah, does anybody have any preference over there?
Do you need to know tonight? Can they think about it and come back the next meeting?
No, no, I gotta order.
Adult swings are blue, darker blue, they're a darker blue.
And the playground is yellow and red.
I like red, white, blue, too, but
So you could go any color.
Matter of fact, I don't know if I did see white, but anyway, yeah, I like that
Yeah.
idea.
That is true.
That we go with that, or something bright for that corner where that'll go. So we can look, if nobody has an objection, we can go ahead and look at red, white, and blue, or even bright yellow. I don't really care, I just need
I
to
don't
make sure.
really care about the yellow, but that's just me. Any other color y'all pick, that's great.
There are tons of colors, there's probably
You got orange in there.
12, 15, I'm sorry.
I said they got a real bright orange.
Right, orange. Yeah, so.
You got a Bengal shirt on and say, oh no?
nothing bright orange, you know?
But, yeah.
I mean, you can put a number 9 on an orange one over there.
Number 9. So does anybody have an objection to doing red, white, and blue if that's possible?
I just know the white one's gonna get pretty messy.
I would
Yeah.
probably stay away from white too.
It's powder coated, very hard to,
Ain't nothing hard.
White makes me nervous. If these kids can find a will, they'll find a way. There's a
Oh,
will,
yeah.
there's a way.
It doesn't matter what color they are, if there's
Yeah.
destruction in mind. But,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm open to any suggestions the council has, if you want something different than that. But we need to get,
What all colors they got? Red, white, blue?
they've got any color.
They got green.
They got 3 colors of greens, like a light green, a dark green,
No, it's not an army green.
olive drab.
It's like, well, the normal park benches that we see every place else, that green. It's like that green, that color green is not
No,
bright green.
they
it's
have
like
about 3
green.
greens. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
they
didn't-
have different shades of green.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't
Okay.
bring those colors with me. I just didn't dawn on me.
The darkest ones.
Huh?
The darkest ones, I would say.
Well, we're trying to brighten it up,
Right.
because like I said,
You brighten her up.
I mean, or just the red and blue, if you don't
Yeah.
have the white.
Red and blue, she said.
Yeah.
No white.
Not a
But you're
problem.
gonna have 3 tables, so.
Red,
Yeah.
blue, yellow. the
Red,
blue,
blue, red.
Either two red
Mayor
or
says
Two
yellow.
reds
Blue,
or-
yellow.
Blue, red.
I mean, that's up to you guys. If you want the yellow, that's fine.
But, cool.
We could do red, blue, red or something, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm good with that.
Good with
Red,
that.
blue, red?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Just move on.
I will,
It's a picnic table.
I tell you what I'll
Yeah.
do. We'll say red, blue, red.
Yeah.
And I will, when I get home, I'll send you guys an email with the array of colors that
Okay.
I
In the form
have,
of a
in
motion.
case you want to change, if that's agreeable. Also,
Do you want to just, do you want that in the form of a motion?
Don't you think it should be, in case it comes back on us?
well, I mean, okay.
I'll make a motion that Danny orders the picnic tables, red, blue, red.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Motion by Al, second by Kathy Bias. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Bias.
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Also in that request for that particular area, we will be putting in, what do you call them? Grills. So that people can cook on, pretty much like they have in Farm Bank, you know, those type of grills. We also have information, and this kind of works for us. We have $5,000 in that grant. Organize social events, many concerts or musicals, return community events, which we already have with We Thrive, sports tournaments and competitions. So that's included in the grant as well. We have printing and marketing distribution for community events. Print and distribute, collect the collected information. We also have to, in that, create information about wellness and health and those types of things in that, in the print information that we put together. So that just about covers our $35,000 for that. So I would just like to make a motion, well, we've already approved this, but we'll back us up with another motion that we move forward with this process.
Oh, all right.
With the grills.
Yeah, with the grills, the
Printing
whole
information.
thing, the tables and things like that.
That's about it.
Can we just say we'll make a motion to complete the requirements of the grant?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
You made
Have
the
a
motion,
second.
Danny?
She just made the motion. There we go.
Get it over with.
All right, motion by Ann Pillis, second by Al Glick. Any further discussion?
You said you can use
This-
it for advertising, whatever. Is that where we're going to take it for that brochure? or what?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll work. That's just about what I was going to say in discussion. So, yeah, we're continuing with that. That's coming along. The business response in the churches is overwhelming. They're so excited about this moving forward, and I appreciate that as well.
All right, thank you. Call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe, Kathy Bias,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
So now that you've spent the money, or you want the 35,000, can we move this money from the savings to cover this? Because, again, we're spending our money to get the county money.
Mhm.
And we've already allotted money for another part of that.
Well, this has
Over
been
there.
this has been on the table
I
for a
know,
long
but what I'm
time.
saying is
Yeah.
we don't have that extra money just sitting there in the general fund. I'm just asking if we can move money from the savings to that, to have that.
Absolutely. I
Till we
so
get it back
moved.
from the
I'll
county.
second it.
Okay,
the only
motion by
way it
Dan
happened.
Pillis, second by Pam Jackson, move that money. Yeah. Any discussion?
Yeah, who did what? I was trying to.
Danny Pillis made the motion,
Pam.
and then Pam seconded
Okay.
that. And then I don't think there's any discussion. And then call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe, Kathy Bias,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick, Pam Jackson.
Yay.
The last item that I just want to keep councils in the loop on, that we need to move forward on what we're going to do with the $91,000 grant. I think we've used some of that money for lights. I don't know how much, but it was, the grant was for 2 pickleball courts, lighting, and some water. Now, we've duplicated that grant to a certain degree with the CBC grant, Ohio Capital Grant. So that some of that, so there's money in there as well to help us go on with the lights. I think we may have gone a little bit over on the lighting part of it for the ODNR grant. Yeah,
For the 90?
91. I think we've done 24 in lights, but we can recoup some of that through the Ohio Capital Grant, which covers that too. They're both in there, and we can work interchangeable with them. When I spoke with the lady today, or I went through my notes today and said, we can make both those grants. Yeah, we can take 20% of the capital grant, or we can take 5% of our in-kind work from that grant for the one we have now. So.
The capital grant you're speaking of, is that the $200,000 that we're getting in 2025?
Yes, absolutely. So, with those things cooking, I just want to, kind of keep council involved and start having some meaningful discussion on moving forward with the pickleball court. I think
The pickleball court and electric is what's running concurrent with the 90,000 that we got.
Yeah,
What he's
absolutely.
saying. No, we're overrunning the 90 a little bit because of the pickleball
Right.
court and the electric altogether.
Absolutely.
So do we
And there
need
again,
2
that's where
pickleball
we're
courts
using our
though, for
money
real?
to
I
try
mean,
to
do
make
you
this
really need
come
2
back.
pickleball courts?
That's what's in our grant.
I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
I'm just saying that's what's in the grant.
I
That's what we
mean, if we're
applied
running
for.
over, why do we need 2 pickleball courts?
The purpose of the grant was to put in 2 pickleball courts, so you can't just say, I'm only going to do half of what the grant's for.
But they just said they're running over. Didn't you just say you were running over money-wise, or?
Yeah.
I mean,
But we'll be able to kind of offset some of the projects that are in the $90,000 grant and hold them until next year. And pay for certain things out of that. Yeah.
don't understand why we need 2 pickleball courts. That's just it. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, I don't think 2 pickleball courts are going to be used a lot, maybe 1.
Well, it was an item that, we agreed on, basically, to do. And, but, I certainly understand your feelings, and I appreciate your feelings if that's how you feel.
Dan, did you have anything else from a committee standpoint?
No, Mayor, thank you very much.
Oh, well, I can start going around there. Jennifer?
We did have to set up a meeting to go over the policy and procedure that Mr. Bob did send us yesterday before we could issue it to everyone at council. So ladies, would you like to set up a meeting to go over it one more time before we issue it out, just to make sure our changes are updated? And our next meeting isn't until like the middle of August, so if you didn't want to do it this week because of everything going on in the park, I completely understand that. If you wanted to do it next week. We just have to give them enough time to be able to review it and answer. So if you want to wait, and I can ask you tomorrow and we can think about it. Okay, I'm looking at them.
August 19th. So you've got plenty of time.
Got plenty of time.
Yes.
We can talk about a meeting date later. That's all I have.
I just go back and forth in an email with them.
That's all I have.
Thanks, Jennifer. Kathy?
I just had a couple people ask me, my water bill went up from like $71 to $84. I was just wondering what was the cause of the increase of our water bills? What's the increase? Like mine's set $84, but a couple neighbors of mine is still 70-something. So what's the difference? I mean,
That's something I couldn't answer. That'd be with the water board.
yeah. I mean, I know a couple people down the street from me, their water bills are still the same, but mine went up $84, and I know I didn't use 4,000 gallons of water. There's no way. There's no way. But I mean, I don't have, everything's in these notes. I was at another meeting, so I couldn't go to that one, so.
Yeah.
I just, if we can get with the water board and see why these water bills have went up for certain people and not, other people did not go up.
Yeah, it's something I'd have to ask Lisa. I mean, I
Yeah.
was totally unprepared to answer that, so
Yeah.
there's nothing I can give you on that.
Okay.
Can the trustee shed some light on it?
I don't know, Raymond, do you have anything?
No, she'd have to talk to Lisa.
See, that's what I'm like.
Okay, Lisa comes back, what, next week?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's going to be next week before I can get anything.
I was just curious why mine
Yeah,
went up
no,
and then
that's a
two
good
doors
question.
down, it didn't go up.
It's just
And we're
I
all
can't
on the same
answer.
street, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mine went up too, it's the same.
Yeah, yours went up too? And I know I didn't use, it's not like I filled my pool up. My pool's already got water in it.
4,000
So,
gallons, that's what they say I use.
I mean, at that point, I'm just gonna turn my hose on and just let it run to get to the 4,000 gallons at this point.
Well, especially people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
on the
just going
same
to.
page with that.
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Thanks, Kathy. Miss Ann?
Okay, I have a couple committees to report on. One is the Park and Playground Committee, and we met on the 2nd of July. And one of the things we talked about was what activity we could do to participate in the Music Fest, which is supposed to be the 19th and 20th of this month. So those are the things we talked about. What we are hoping to do is split the pot and have the turd game and the emoji game. But we're gonna have a meeting tomorrow night to come up with the final activity that we'll do. And the other thing we're looking at is a
Big six wheel.
thank you, a big six. And then as far as updates in the park, we looked at ways to complete the flagpole circle and a suggestion for pavers or stamped concrete. We actually talked to the man the other day when he was over at the park, asking how much it would cost to do a stamped concrete in that circle. I think it's $11.5.
Yep.
That's not $11.05. And
I can swindle him a little bit further.
better do a lot of swindling.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we'll
Get him down.
have to work toward. And also to elevate our flagpole and hopefully get a big flag donated from one of our congressmen. Then the pavilion was started on the 3rd. Oh, it didn't start on the 3rd, but it started. And like Al said, they're going to put the poles in tomorrow. And whenever they put the concrete down, I will send out emails and texts saying, let's have a party, because we want to be sure that the concrete does not get damaged. And then the other thing was the Clean Ohio grant that we've had requires us to keep that creek cleaned out along that area with the weeds and all that. So we'll need to set that up, and we will hopefully work with the Western Wildlife on that. Last time they worked with us and they came along to sort of kill I call it honeysuckle, I may have some other name by now. And then Al's already talked about the adult swings and the fact that they needed to be reinforced, and that's been set up with the gentleman that's doing the shelter. And then the pickleball courts should be starting in 4 to 6 weeks, is what we said in our meeting. So I don't know what we have to do to get that process started, because the longer we wait, the more expensive it gets. You know, concrete's gone up. Tell them about it, Al.
Oh, yeah. Everything's going up, we all know that.
So that's
With
what I.
that, Ms. Ann, can council give us some information or approval to start moving forward with this? Just got to know what council wants to do, because we'd like to get that started and get it finished this
Get
summer.
it in before winter.
I mean, I just don't know where finance is at for, wait until we get the grant money back first
Right.
from Hamilton County to get started on the
Then
pickleball, you know what I mean? We gotta get
Yeah.
something back and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that from the beginning, and that's what we talked, this project has been dormant for quite a while, so I just want to
Well,
know.
we just got the basketball court in, so now we're getting the pavilion in. Once we get that money back, we can start on that pickleball.
And then we have a ton of
Plan.
road projects to top it all off.
But you know, the basketball
So this is-
taken care of, that
this is
has
what I
to do
need
with
to
getting
know.
money back.
Right, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, we gotta get our money back from this pavilion.
Mhm.
Cause we put our money out already. We've gotta get that money back before we can
Yeah.
start
Well, I
something
can't do
else.
anything until
I'm
like
good with that.
checks
Yeah.
go to the bank, so I have proof to fill out the reimbursement form.
Yeah, because that's what we talked about, get a project done, get the money back in.
Then
Instead
start
of
it
taking
off.
us out of savings,
And when
because
the
we gotta pay it to get
auditors
it
come
back.
through, they can say, you shouldn't have done
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I think
Good.
usually hopefully by the next meeting or so, we should be able to move forward on that. You know what I
We
mean?
have
Just keep
something-
things going.
Have something else
Keep
to be
something
done.
going in the park, but yeah,
That's good, that's what I need.
that's what I was
Yeah.
getting at. As long as
That's
we
what
get
we
one
talked
thing,
about.
we get another thing done right after and keep moving.
Yeah, I agree with that, that's what we had talked about.
So we can't do anything with that until August. That's August 19th or something like that.
Yeah, unless we have a special meeting, we might do.
Yeah, because
Or
We also-
we have the money back, that's what's
Right.
important.
Yeah, could be.
and along with all that, we have to be able to get on the schedule of the contractor.
Are we going out for bid on that? I mean-
We talked about Sourcewell, they're a member of Sourcewell,
Yeah.
we're a member of Sourcewell. So the county said that, no, there won't have to be a bid on that when I spoke to the lady there. We talked about this as well, because both of us were on Sourcewell.
Yeah, me and Danny talked about that before, maybe throwing another contractor out there just to keep
Yeah,
keep them
absolutely.
honest, you know?
I think with all the time that we have,
Yeah,
we can.
we got time to throw another one.
We
out
got
there.
time to check a couple more people to see what their price is.
See what their prevailing wage
Yeah.
is compared to what Game Changer is.
Exactly.
Just keep them honest.
Yeah, and also, the contractor, when we were over there, he offered us to stamp
Oh, yeah.
the pavilion
For the
at
pavilion.
no cost.
That's gonna be really
Stamp the
nice.
concrete, yeah, which I'm excited about that. It's not much of a change, except that they're gonna make it prettier.
Yeah, make it look
with
like
stamp.
rocks.
I don't know that anybody around the table has any objection to that. If you do, just kind of,
Better catch you tomorrow.
yeah, I mean,
It's not costing anything.
Not costing us anything.
Actually, it's really, I mean, it's good that he's gonna do it, and he ain't gonna charge us nothing.
Yeah,
And then he's gonna pour them pads around the adult swings.
absolutely.
I thought that was a pretty good little trade there. I was like,
Yeah. I think that's
where to move on with it, old buddy. That's the way I figured.
And the next thing I have, that completes the parks and playground unless someone else has something to add. The next thing is the police committee. The interim chief was not present because he didn't know about the meeting until the day of and he had other things to do, but we met anyway. We started out with what is the status of our police department and where do we go from here? We know that the sheriff's office is no longer providing subsidized coverage since June 3rd. So one thing that we agreed on was we wanted 24-hour, 7-day, 365 coverage department. And where were we with that? We have 3 full-time officers and 4, and we need some part-time officers to complete the schedule. And how are we seeking additional officers? We asked the mayor that question, and she said they're using Indeed and LinkedIn, and that they have several responses, but there were no OPATA certified people who had applied. We also asked if we considered contacting some of our old officers to see if they might be interested in doing part-time. The mayor checked the folder of past officers, and she came up with one. Then another possibility might be to check with some of the people that have applied here for office as for jobs. Maybe some of them want to do some part-time. But we definitely need to get some part-time people. Then things that we've requested in the past, we've asked the interim chief for a schedule. We've asked for a schedule so that shows who's working each day. And in the past, we've had monthly schedules, and each day has been filled out with who was coming. The schedule that we got last was just one that says, this person's working day shift, this one is nights, and the evening shift. We need something that's more explicit, telling us who's on and how we're covering the weekends and who's going to do that. If we have a schedule, we'll be able to see that, and we'll know if there's somebody there or how many hours we're covered. And the other question was, we asked for a record of training, which we've not received. We want to know, let the council know how training is going and a possibility of when that training will be able to actually start working. And when he's able to patrol on his own. And then the other question was, what was the status of Officer Dow's training? We are aware that he has an injury, but we would like to know what is the status of his training. How soon, when he returns, will he be able to work? We don't even know exactly what day he started his training and what was anticipated as a finishing date. And is there, one of the questions we had was, is there a direct phone number to reach the police for counsel? And I learned that we do have that. And also a question, if all the officers have signed the agreement of employment for a minimum of 24 months service. And Mayor says that has been done. And as far as the equipment dispense form, the clerk has reported that she has that done, for everyone except Jake Tindrink and Jackie Samples. So she'll need those two. And then the other thing that we talked about was council has concerns about all the overtime. And we talked about it and we kicked it around, but it all comes down to we need a meeting between the Finance Committee and the Police Committee to come up with some solutions and actions to be taken so that we can find out, for one thing, how much overtime has been done and how that's affecting the police budget for the year, and what actions we can take and bring back a report to council after that meeting. Hopefully we can get that done soon. And the last item I had was Lisa Walker, is where does her training stand as Aaron's relief person? And Chief Tindrink has said that the RCIC would not allow her to be tested. So we need to know if they understand what her job is and the importance of her knowing that. And if they still disagree, we ask them to send us a letter so that we have it for the record, especially since Lisa's been paid to take on that responsibility. So that's all I have, and I'm up for questions if anyone has any. Anybody has a question?
I got questions, comments, remarks, concerns, if I'm allowed to speak.
Oh, go ahead.
First question is, even though Ms. Pillow has already said my last name, how many of you know my first name?
It's
No? Just by show of hands, how many of you know my first name? So I've been injured, got injured on June 25th, chasing a suspect, actually 2. I have not had one single call from anybody, not one. I seen you outside.
I went directly to you.
You said
to find
hello?
out what your situation. I didn't just say hello. I said, how are you doing? How is your injury coming? So
Correct. And then you
that's what I said.
walked inside. Yes, understandable. Nobody else has called. Nobody else has reached out. My brothers over here literally call me and text me every day.
That's good.
When I started this job, I told you guys my wife was concerned because I was part-time and that I would be hurt and my family would be left out. So I'm part-time. We don't have insurance. I'm not getting paid at the moment because the Bureau of Workmen's Comp says, well, for the first 8 days you'll get paid, and then after that, the village has to okay going through with your workman's comp. But that could take up to 30 days for them to get back to us and say yes or no, because they are allowed to deny. So, again, we don't have insurance. I have a daughter that we have to go get medicine for every other week because we don't have insurance, so we're paying out of pocket. I got a bill today, which I'm assuming will be covered under workman's comp for the ambulance ride I had to take. But again, nobody has reached out, nobody's called. You guys sit here and you talk about, understand that we all get it, there's grants, there's things that's being paid for, we get it. But the only thing that I've heard tonight is pickleball court, pickleball court, pickleball court. That's it. What we're doing in this park.
Is that all you heard tonight?
What we're doing in this park. Can we get this passed so that we can get this done in the park? What about us? What about the people that are out here protecting? You can look at me like that. What about the people that are out here protecting this village, like myself, because you guys want to say, well, part-time, part-time, part-time. Do you understand that nobody wants to be part-time? Do you guys understand that?
Well, I'll tell you something right now.
This is a career.
Order. Stop. Right now. Because this is not the way to go about it. This is not how to go about full-time. Now, I understand if you're upset if nobody got with you. But this is not the way to go about shaming everyone around this table that way just because you don't have full-time. You knew when you came in it was part-time.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be mean to you. I like you. I think you've been doing a great job, but this is not the way to go about it.
I understand.
For that.
Thank you for that. What I'm upset about is the insurance thing. That's my biggest upset. Okay?
And I understand that, absolutely.
I get paid my wage. The state of Ohio says that that wage is too much for us to have insurance through the state. I also can't afford to pay out of pocket for insurance because we have other bills. And now that I'm hurt, we don't have that.
I mean, you knew that coming in when you
So we
signed up for the
processed
job,
all
you knew
the
that going
workers'
in, that
comp,
you was
right?
coming in as
Yes, I
Didn't
part-time.
deny his workers' comp.
On the workman's comp, he's not been denied. I have been working faithfully. When they reach out to me, of course I'm gonna say, yeah, the village is going to. The man got hurt on the job. You know, and I did fill out last week his wages from when he started. They have on there, you have to list like the last 14 days prior to his injury. Plus, I sent them the whole wage report. Plus, I sent them copies of his paycheck stuff so they could see that it matched up. They give us a claim number. The claim number that they give him is the claim number will be his for life. And every time he gets something from workman's comp, he needs to apply that. Those are workman's comp's rules on the 8 days. It's not our rules. Now, in your policy, you do have, it got changed last year, proposed change, that full-time, I'm sorry, it doesn't affect the part-time, but full-time, there is something in there that talks about injured duty pay. We had that with Officer Pennycamp last year, or 2 years ago. But everything on the village's end, I have processed through workman's comp. He asked about having a scooter, I believe, for your knee, and I verbally spoke to the rep at Chadwick and Sedgwick, and I told them, we want that approved. He was gonna reach out to the person at the medical part of it and say, yes, Addyston is saying yes, that, you know, he can apply for this. This week, I haven't heard back from him. That communication was probably last Wednesday, maybe, the last that I spoke to him, or, you know, corresponded with him.
So the medical bill, he turns that into workman's comp, right?
It should be sent workman's comp with
Right.
the number on it.
Yeah.
As far as your share of it, if it was a squad and it was called by Miami Township here in Addyston, that's what our taxes pay for, is for when our residents get those bills. We have used that, and there shouldn't, you know, they try to see if there's a soft billing through the person's insurance. In this case, since he doesn't have insurance,
The village picks it up.
you know, if you want to see it, get it to me. I'll see what I can do with our local
Because it was
township.
for the actual
Sure,
ambulance, and
yeah.
then they charged mileage also.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just see, let me, you know, get it to me and let me contact, you know, Miami Township with it because of it, you know, being
Because
the
of him
workman's
being
comp.
in the
And then I will
village.
also reach out to workman's comp too. But you do
'Cause
need to put that on there.
I did talk to the rep from Sedgwick again on Friday, and she talked to MedMart again, got back with me and said, hey, MedMart is telling me that until your claim is approved, they will absolutely not give you any medical equipment.
Well, it was
So-
approved as soon as I got the paperwork.
Okay.
And I didn't talk to a lady, I spoke to a man. Trent.
Yeah.
Trent, and then there was another guy that I talked to from up there. So anyhow, they're all corresponding amongst themselves. That this council and through my office has not denied anything, and we have completed everything that I know of.
So I have a question. With him being injured, isn't there any kind of like desk duty he could do, like paperwork or something? Like I know like where I work, if we get hurt, they bring us in to do paperwork.
Like light duty work.
Light duty, medical records or whatever. If I can't do my job on the floor, they will bring us in to do certain jobs that we're able to do.
So I'm actually not, at the moment, not allowed to return to work until Thursday.
Till Thursday?
The 18th.
I see my surgeon on Wednesday, and then 3 weeks from Wednesday, I see a colleague of his at UC, and then they're going to decide what they're actually going to do. My right foot is fractured in 4 different places.
Okay.
So they wanted me to wait the 3 weeks, let the swelling go down so they could reassess, and then he wants a colleague to look at it, and then they're going to make a determination if they're going to do pins and screws or if they're going to fuse the whole actual ankle together.
Okay.
So as far as light duty, when I go back Wednesday, I will discuss that with him.
Yeah, I didn't know if they would have something like that that you could do, at least you would be able to get a pay, you know, you wouldn't have to wait for workman's comp to pay. You would get a paycheck, your hours.
And I talked to workman's comp about that, about coming back, because I've always been under the understanding that if you're on workman's comp, you're not allowed to go back to work because it messes with the claim.
Yes,
But
it does.
after talking to
It
Cliff,
does mess with the
Yeah.
claim?
Yes, it does.
Unless they say in there
Unless they
like,
say he can
It
work.
drags it out farther.
yeah.
right, and after talking to the claim rep from workman's comp, that's exactly what he said. He said, you can go back to work, but it may take longer to settle the claim.
Because there'll be more paperwork on when you worked, stuff like, you know, what you received, and that'll probably, you know, they have to look at that. Like if you come back and you're on light duty and we're paying you, that's probably going to affect your claim, you know, with them because of what they're saying. But that is that 8-day rule is the rule, you know, not like here. Well, you know, you could always go in executive session and talk about anything too.
Yeah, I think an executive session personnel matters is warranted. Afterwards, did you have anything else for council?
No, because it kind of put a stop to what I was going into there, so I don't want to overstep and talk more about, you know, part-time, full-time, all that.
I believe the chief wanted to address that. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I'll be addressing it.
That would be the, yeah.
I love being here. I love working here. These three guys I love. I hurt myself for this village. I don't want to leave. I don't. This is where I want to be. When I had my interview and I sat there, I told you guys that my family was looking for somewhere small that we could be, that we could potentially move to and be part of the community. We want that. That's what we're looking for.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, thank y'all for the time.
Thank you. Thank you. Did you have anything else, Ms. Ann? So I can get the other two committees
That's all
out
I had.
in this direction.
I don't have nothing this time, Mayor. I already told you what I done went mine through the parks and all that, so I don't have nothing at this time. We're just gonna get some stamped concrete on.
Just to update the music at the park, it's this weekend, the 19th to 20th, 3 to 11. Tickets are available online. If there's a glitch, you can call me or you can call the company, but it worked for me, but it's not working for others, so, but I don't understand that. It is cheaper, you save like $5 a ticket if you do it online. I think we're pretty set on everything for the park, for the event, I should say, at the park.
I'm gonna meet them guys Friday morning to set up the stage Friday morning, 9 a.m. So
Yeah.
he reached out to me so I can get a hold of him, show him where to put it, and which way we want it.
Yeah, and I will call
The carnival people.
Carnival people. I don't think they're there tonight, but I'll leave a message in case somebody might be listening, because I'm sure they might be out and about somewhere at the carnival. So maybe
Well,
somebody
they can move it first thing in the morning too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to get it out of the way before bingo.
Before bingo
Right.
Wednesday.
Just before Wednesday.
I will call him.
I don't know if anybody's noticed it or not.
I don't know
but
why he took it down there.
Rode over there, and they do have a nice sign that's on the white fence up there that says
Private property.
private property members only and blah, blah, blah. And it does, and then they also put up new,
We put up new, no parking signs. by
no
the
parking,
building.
like fire lane, no
Yep.
parking, and they put up new handicap, and it really looks nice. The whole parking lot is paved and marked.
Yeah, they just redid that, and resealed it all, and then we
Yeah.
had the lines put in.
Yeah, it does look nice.
So the only other thing to set up the finance meeting with, find out where we get the money at.
Pam, before you move on to that.
Sure.
So if you cannot get through, you're gonna have to pay the $15. There's no way they can leave any bracelets or send them to you that people can, walk in off the street and see Aaron. They just can't do that.
They talked about, you can get through. You can get, it worked for me. I'm not understanding why it's not working.
Well,
At first it did.
That
and then
was
it did.
yesterday, that it didn't work. I haven't tried today. When I get home, I'll try.
Well, yeah, but there are a lot of other people.
But it's a national ticket thing, so I'm not understanding why it's not working. It's not just our event. They do this for all kinds of events that's handling this. So it's not just the Village of Addiston's event. So I don't understand what the problem is either.
Yeah. But what my problem is, as a backup, couldn't they deliver some bracelets to us?
I don't know if they'll deliver it, but if it's, we could try. I mean, if they will send it, but
I was asking about, because.
Well, I did approach him, and he said we can make up the ticket, but this is something that we would, make up ourselves, which I'm not comfortable with. I don't want that responsibility.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, not me. Maybe somebody else around the table might want to do that, but no, not when it comes to money. I don't feel that's right. Just like we would meet with him with these, he gave us X amount of bracelets, I guess. He could. He didn't seem like he was too fond of that. He didn't say he wouldn't.
Right.
But I will, and I can understand his point too, because I don't know if they're numbered or what the deal is or X amount, and then, of course that's putting Aaron out too to do it, but I'm sure if he else want to do it, she'll do it.
Absolutely.
But I will, that's another question I'll ask tomorrow. I'll say if you can get him down here to us, it will save them $5 a ticket is what it is, a bracelet, is what it's not a ticket. So they're 10 and 15, day of the show, they'll be 15 and 20.
20.
Yeah, because the one's a rock climber, but you figure that's all day. They're starting at 4, going to like 10. So I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think so.
And I guess they'll sell tickets too. I really don't know about the tickets, but I don't know who would do that unless you only want to ride one ride, and that's probably going to be $10.
Right.
You buy a ticket because it's not cheap. But no, and this.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But I'll call and I'll send you an email and let you know what he says in the morning. I think they open about 10. And then just setting a meeting between now and the next council meeting.
Miss Ann, did you request your startup money?
Oh, I forgot that. I did. We went through the other. But I didn't have anything other than that. But I think Ann needs something.
I need to request some startup money for music in the park. I would like to request $350.
Do you have anything else, Pam?
No.
Go to the chief.
Do we need a?
Did they vote on that 350?
No, they didn't.
Oh, do you want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody make a motion, please.
I'll make a motion that we
Good start up.
$350.
All right, motion by Jennifer Wiehe, second by Al Glick for the startup money. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe, Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yeah.
Al Glick,
Hey.
Pam Jackson.
Yeah.
Anything else? Are we done? All right, go to the chief.
Hello. So I just want to start off with, we're members of the HCPA, which is the Hamilton County Police Association. They meet once a month. Not the last meeting, but the meeting before that, I was attending, and the Rotary Club, we're talking about AEDs. I got with the guy about AEDs. And that day, I walked home with a AED with donation of the Rotary Club for the Village of Addiston.
Good job.
Very good.
So we were able to get an AED, something that we need here for the village, very important.
Do we send them a thank you or coming from the village? We should at least do that.
I sent a little letter
Did
out,
you?
but.
Yeah.
Can
we get a copy of it just to have on file?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next thing I have on the agenda is basically to clear up anything that we're overtime. I know we have an issue with overtime. We have an issue with staffing. And I'm mainly here to talk about our staffing. we have a duty to, fill our staffing levels to a full department to keep this community safe. Now with that, the only way I could tell you guys is with the staffing levels, part-time is not an option. And what I'm handing out to you is to basically explain why part-time doesn't work anymore. Every department is hurting for officers, and I can tell you nobody is going to a department applying just for part-time. Bob, you want to copy? So what you have in front of you is the pros and cons. So the pros, I'm looking to generate a 12-hour shift. To generate a 12-hour shift, that would require 5 full-time officers and eliminating all part-time officers here. The pros to that will be fully staffed 365 days. It'll eliminate overtime other than just court. It'll retain officers and build relationships with the community. It'll reduce the liability, and it will save money on training. The cons, our current schedule that we're on right now would be 3 full-time officers and 4 part-time officers. That's 7 total officers. Right now, we only have 1 dedicated part-time officer. Still in training, but when he gets off, he's our dedicated part-time officer for the weekends. The cons to having part-time guys is you open up a liability risk for lawsuits. Inconsistent training, again, liability. Wasting money on training for part-time officers just to move on to full-time positions elsewhere. Retaining officers. Applying, no applicants for part-time. New applicants want full-time. Since we've been hiring since the beginning of the year, I've only received 2 part-time applications, and with the 2 part-time applications, they were not qualified with OPATA, with the state of Ohio. It will require more officers to fill shifts if we keep part-time officers. Part-time officers not able to make training due to full-time jobs create a liability and cease functions at the end of the year. I can't stress it enough with training. Training has changed with the state of Ohio. That is another paper that I gave you. Just so you don't think it's just coming just from me, it's also coming from the state of Ohio. I'm going to go ahead and read it out. Dear commanding officers, as we continue to uphold the highest standards of law enforcement, professionalism, and excellence, it is imperative to remain firm and adaptive to evolving landscape of our profession. With this in mind, we are pleased to announce updates within the professional standards and curriculum sections of the Ohio Peace Officer Training Commission. These updates compress various aspects, including the implementation of new electronic notice of appointment separation process. That's mainly for me. Everything's went digital. We don't do anything paper copy anymore. New appointments of officers, everything gets input electronically. So, continuing professional training, which is called CPT. Reporting as well, updates and requirements set forth by legislator. For more, we hope to provide clarity on the clarification process for new officers, ensuring a seamless transition into their roles within our agencies. We understand that navigating multiple changes can present challenges, which here are the changes to training. But it is during these times of transition that our resilience and dedication shine the brightest. While adjustments may initially pose challenges, they also present opportunities for innovation and improvement. Your commitment to excellence and unwavering dedication to serving our communities remain the cornerstone of our mission. Let us approach these changes with optimism, knowing that each adjustment brings us one step closer to achieving our shared vision of a safer, more secure future for all. So really what they're trying to do is, with training, with today's world, we need more training for our officers. Back then, it used to just be you take one class, that was it for the whole year. That is not the requirement anymore. The requirement now for calendar year 2024 for peace officers and troopers must receive a total of 24 CPT hours. 8 of the 24 hours must be completed on the 5 topics that are mandated by the Ohio Peace Officer Training Commission. Those topics are legal updates, responding to mental health issues, crisis mitigation, de-escalation, Marcy's Law and victim rights, and NIBIN. The remaining 16 hours of CPT are also mandatory. However, these 16 hours can be on any topic that meets requirements of the state and approved by your agency administrator. Now, I speak highly on the training. Example for the training. Our part-time guys, they have full-time jobs as well. One of our part-time officers, I have offered the training to him every time we've gone to training this year so far. He has yet to make one. With that being said, at the end of the year, they will cease his function and he will not be able to operate as a police officer because he did not meet those requirements of training. That's why I am stressing to do away with the part-time and have a minimum of 5 full-time officers, and that will, 1, get us fully staffed on weekends and all, and also eliminate some of the overtime that we've been putting out trying to cover these weekends. I also gave you a make-up copy of a schedule of what it would look like. You will have Group A, which will be Officer 1 and 2, and Group B, which will be Officer 3 and 4. And then you have your supervisor, which will be me. I know that right now I am your first shift officer and I am also your chief. You guys have to also realize if I get hurt out on the job because I'm working as a road officer, what does that do for the department? It puts us under. There are validations that I have to submit that can't come from these officers. There are a lot of things that I have to actually submit to the state each month. And if I'm hurt and I'm not here to be able to do that, that's going to put us in a jam. So I am asking council to hopefully push through and see what we can do about bringing on just 5 full-time officers and to be fully staffed here as a police department. Training itself, inadequate training, insufficient training hours, or doing the minimum required can lead to interdepartmental problems such as low morale, inefficient and efficient staff, and open the door to liabilities. I'm trying to avoid all liabilities at all costs for this place. A need for change. The importance of continued training and education for modern day police. Due to high visibility of police officers and interaction with the public on a constant basis, police officers must practice situational awareness constantly throughout the day. The mindset underscores the need for routine application of training to ensure adequate investigative technique, officer safety, and efficiently. Law enforcement personnel have a responsibility to make certain they are up to date on modern day training and formal education and become knowledgeable in tactics used by a criminal element. And education is more than just sitting in a classroom and earning a certificate. It is also about applying this newfound knowledge and maintaining proficiency. Knowledge is power. It is the foundation for establishing objectives and accomplishing goals. Without knowledge, one will be ineffective, unproductive, and unable to accomplish tasks at maximum efficiency. This goes with any profession, especially those fields that require extensive interaction with human beings and the darker sides of human nature. Law enforcement is no different. Police officers have to be solid in their commitment to themselves, their department, and their community in order to effectively enforce the law and conduct investigations. These actions require intelligence, common sense, and diligence, all of which one cannot be born with, but rather earned through experience and applied learning. Inconsistent actions. A key aspect of officer training to create consistency across the board. If officers respond inconsistently in the field, it can compromise safety and make dangerous situations even worse. Inconsistency policies create inconsistent actions. Along with the training, I also put for like training costs. For an example, typically training is around $200 to $400 per officer. just for one 8-hour class, and that's only giving you 4 hours of CPT training. We are required by state to make up those 16 hours, whether it's through a workshop, a training class, or anything extra that is not online that is mandated by the state. With 7 officers, if you're looking at $200 at the least, of 16 CPT total credit hours, you're looking at $5,600. If we can just bring 5 officers that are dedicated to this department, we're all going to be on the same page and we all have the same training, you're looking at $4,000 for our CPT training. That would be, and some classes are free. I know you've been asking for a list of training. I am still waiting on certificates from OSP and other training that we've been to. So I am still waiting on those certificates to come back to me to build their training jacket. I just wanted to point out the difference here in the village with past officers and current officers on part-time and full-time. I'm not going to give any names of any officers from the past or anything like that. I'm just going to say part-time first, second shift, or full-time first, second shift. We're going to start out with part-time. Not sure what shift he mainly worked, but we pulled records from 2020 to now. This officer from June 2nd, 2022 to when I'm guessing he left, which was in March 14th of 2023, he was a part-time officer and had only made 14 citations. This was another part-time officer, not here long, a couple months, made 6 citations. Another part-time officer dates back from 2020 to March 1st of 2023, wrote a total of 13 citations. Another part-time officer was here from 2020. Again, we just went back from 2020. They could have been here prior or even longer, but we went just to 2020.
So, like, what does this have to do between the citations and the officer?
So this is just to show, basically, being part-time, how with these low numbers of part-time, I'm gonna get there. Okay, I'm gonna get there.
Okay. I was looking for.
Are you suggesting more citations?
So what I'm saying is part-time is just not, and there's one part-time officer that we actually have under us right now who is still currently working. He's been here for some time, and when we just pulled how many citations he's written, he has a total of 6, and he's been here for years. To me, that shows he's not being productive here within the village because he's part-time.
But it's not about writing tickets and.
It's not about writing tickets. No, not at all. It's not about writing tickets. This is just to show productivity, is what these numbers are showing, productivity. Because then we go to full-time. So this is just reading part-time guys throughout the years. We go to full-time. This is a second shift officer that used to be here full-time. And this goes back from 2022 to up to 2023, 1 year. He had a total of 242 citations. What I mean by that is just showing the difference of being here all the time and dedicating yourself here to the department versus part-time coming to just get a paycheck. That's what I get from these numbers. They're just here to get a paycheck and they could care less to write a citation or to patrol these streets and keep it a safer community. With that, I'm just asking council, like I said, I can't stress liability enough. Keeping part-time guys around will cause a liability. We're also going to run into, again, like at the end of the year, if they can't make this training, we're going to have officers that can't even work. And now, what's that going to do for the department? That's going to put us under staffing where we're already not even at full staff and we're halfway into the year. I've been trying my hardest to get part-time guys in. I know that, we want to pull part-time guys, but part-time is just, it doesn't work with today's policing.
I have a question. How does the pay week work? Monday, does it start on Saturday, Sunday and go to Saturday, the week?
So it should be Sunday to Sunday, but how it works, like for our pay period, it's from like Sunday to a Saturday.
To a Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Right now.
98,000.
Okay.
It's Friday, Monday through Friday, but we have weekend workers. I know
Well-
you're itching to say something, so you might as well
No,
say it.
Jennifer looked over at me, so, I mean, the thing of it is, you know, it worked great when pay period started on Friday and it ended on a Thursday, and then when Dorian was here, because of the part-time officers, he was insisting that we include them, but we never had a problem because we always did include them in the pay period. Now we put it where it's Monday, I get paid, they end it on a Monday, and I get the following Monday to put it in or receive their cards, so it's like almost every other Monday or every Monday, I'm doing something with payroll. It doesn't really, if you would look at it, when you make up, like if I would make up, you know, pay period start, pay period end, when they get it. I mean, I'm living with it, but will the auditor say yay? Who knows?
So your officers are, if council was to look at this and consider it, are they willing to do 12-hour shifts? Do they want 12-hour shifts?
Absolutely, that's why they're all here.
Okay.
We're all here in support, this brotherhood. We care about this whole community, we really do. And we want to be here 365 days out of the year and make sure that it is a safe community.
I just know sometimes it's easier to do 12-hour shifts in any job because you don't need you don't have as many holes to fill.
That's something.
As many, correct?
Right, because that's how, I mean, that's how we do it, but I work in a nursing home. But it's easier to fill those shifts
Yeah.
in those days than having to work like 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. So I'm always for a 12-hour shift. I mean, that's me.
And I'm just stressing the liability and the training is what I'm stressing about part-time officers.
Yeah, and our first and foremost thing is to make sure the residents in this village are safe and that we have police service. I mean, I mean, I myself like 12-hour shifts, but that's me.
Yeah.
I mean,
They do work out nice.
they do work out nice.
They are working it some days.
Huh?
They're doing that now.
And you're not
Some
going
of
to give
them,
any
sometimes.
I work it all the time.
Well, I mean, I know some of our officers are currently doing that, just not every day.
Yeah.
So we currently have a part-time officer who's willing, he definitely wants full-time. If you were to bring him on full-time, we're only looking for one officer. And then we would be fully staffed.
And you still got, you yourself on first shift, then you got another officer 7 to 7, right?
So like I was saying before, Al, you really need to consider me administrative. You really don't want me working the road. Me going out there and getting hurt can put a damper into the department.
Yeah, we can get an administrator. We need an administrator.
Well, I mean, that's what the other chiefs did. They sat in the office a lot.
Clyde did it when Clyde was here.
And also, and then
That was back in the day when we didn't have as much going on in this town as we do now with the drugs, the crime.
Well, also with that, the reason why I make, Monday through Friday is one, I have to make meetings. Chief has lots of meetings. I mean, we do network around all the departments. So if I go to a 12-hour shift, then that, again, will require overtime for me making those meetings. So I'm trying to do anything to eliminate overtime and not have that extra expense. Also, putting me Monday through Friday with an 8-hour shift, if one of these guys need to take off or have vacation, I will fill their shift. I'm the person that's the fill-in. Instead of working that day shift, I work their shift.
You work the 7 to 7
Yep,
shift.
I'd work
You
their
wouldn't
shift.
come in from 7 to 3?
Correct.
At all?
Yep.
Okay.
So I will be your fill-in.
Okay.
Well, council is really going to have to take this to some different finance.
Yeah, you definitely, I think you should finance and police all together.
I mean,
with finance, I think we'll be saving money just because we're not wasting it on training, we're not wasting it on part-time guys that we're
And
bringing on,
overtime.
and then them going somewhere else full-time.
Right. And the overtime, you're saving that.
And overtime.
Finance.
And it'll help with retention. I think we'll be able to retain officers more if we just have full-time officers.
I just want to let you guys know that I thank the officers that are on duty because I do see a difference in things that is going on in this village. I mean, there's been a lot of arrests and stuff that's been going on has been, I mean, especially down where I live, it's been slowed down a lot.
Yes.
So, and I'm pretty sure, and I can get a hold of either officer at any time. So, I mean, the phone number we had, so people said they didn't have it, but it was on that blue sheet that was passed out.
Well, it was on everybody's committee sheet.
Right. So,
And it's been acknowledged that there was a number on
Yeah.
the committee sheet. I admitted that.
Yes, you did.
Or acknowledged that today.
so, I mean,
And
anytime
think at
I've
this
called
point-
Martin or anybody,
And at
they've
the meeting,
responded to,
you
my
acknowledged
calls
it.
or my text message or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I think at this point, there's nothing that we're going to solve in this meeting tonight. So I think it should be tabled, or we can call a special meeting to discuss the police farther. And we still got to have a police and finance committee because you can't hire 5 full-time officers if you don't have 5 full-time officers.
so we would have 4 if Keith.
But you still gotta have the money.
Then what, yeah.
Where you get the money?
Still have to have the
Have the
money.
money.
It's like it's-
So that's my suggestion, my motion, that we table this discussion until after we have a finance police committee meeting to go over that.
And would you be able to make that meeting,
Hit a lottery.
the finance police committee meeting? Okay.
Let him know about it, so when you guys start discussing.
Yeah, because he
that,
has other things outside of the village to do.
Excuse me, he doesn't need to be in a finance committee meeting.
It's a finance police committee, you said.
We have to discuss the money that's available.
The way you said it was a police committee, finance committee meeting. That's why I asked him if he would be
Well,
available.
this is a special meeting. It's not like our regular police committee meeting. This is a special meeting between finance and police.
I mean, I would like the chief there just to go over some stuff. I mean, wouldn't you want him
I
there?
mean, they're committee meetings anyway.
It's open.
Anybody.
Anybody can come to a committee meeting,
Anybody,
So,
so
absolutely.
I don't know
But
what
the
the
thing
big
is, we
deal
have
was.
put numbers together, this is gonna be a struggle. I'm not,
I mean, I
I'm
know
not
it's-
pretending.
Right.
I mean-
I know it will,
I'd
but.
love to give you anything that you guys want.
Right,
I
right.
wish we had that, but
Well,
it's,
you was looking at cars.
yeah,
Now we're looking at
it's
cars.
definitely gonna be a
Cruiser
struggle.
now. I mean,
I mean, honestly, we can put that off. As long, if I can get my 5 guys, I'd rather keep this community safe than send some new cruisers. I mean, I'll work on it myself if I have to.
There was a motion.
Yeah. Is there a motion?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
I thought I made one.
I'll second that, Ann, because.
all right, motion by Ann, seconded by Pam.
we can go all night long until we can get them solved.
Joint
Police
meeting.
and finance.
All right, any discussions?
What was the motion? I'm
The
sorry.
motion is for.
To have a joint police and finance committee meeting.
The purpose of that is to look at the budget, see what we can afford before you try to
Right.
start changing rules and.
And everybody has my
regulations.
schedule, right?
Yeah.
The days.
Yeah.
So,
Along with-
yeah.
Along with all
All right.
these grants. Oh, wow.
Call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Bias,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I'd start looking for some grants for the police department, really, if I was you.
I wish they were out there.
They're out
I mean, I know that we have grants, we've been looking at grants just for like equipment, stuff like that, but for like payroll, I mean, there's nothing out there for payroll.
Right
There
now, but
was
they're
one
for
time.
equipment, so that would take
Yeah.
the cost of council for
Oh, yeah,
equipment,
we
stuff like
definitely been
that.
hitting
But you gotta get some of them grants in there to
Equipment
pay for
grants, yeah.
some of the equipment, maybe you might have a few dollars here and there, you know?
So like all the vests that we purchased this year, we're hoping to get reimbursed for all those through the grant.
That's the thing, trying to get money from some of them grants to try to help out a little bit.
Absolutely.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Did you have anything else?
That's all I have. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me or.
I actually have a question for you. I know you guys are shorthanded, and we had bought new stuff for our pavilion, because we're trying to make, you guys are updating the park, we're trying to update our building, we're trying to make it, rent out the pavilion for us.
Yeah.
We got some tables that were donated to us, and we came in, and the kids have knocked them over, broke them. I just wanted to see if you guys could step up more of driving around down there. And I know you're short, and citizens come before us 100%. But just to kind of watch it, because I was down there one day and I was waiting to go into bingo, and this little kid cussed me out. So, what I wanted to do is what the fuss.
We have been working intensely on the juvenile.
Right, I mean, and I understand you guys are short staffed and all that, but I'm just trying to make you guys aware of what's going on and what we see. We have a table sitting behind our dumpster that they had broke.
Yeah.
It's tiled. They're nice tables. We got them from Bailey's house. They donated them to us. So we just wanted to see if you guys keep up the little around our building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have cameras too on your building?
We
yet?
do have brand new cameras on our building.
Okay.
Some of them work, some of them don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
I don't know which one
on
it is.
camera what that is.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it's.
Too loud.
Council, before you decide to do an adjournment, I want to get this in. We need to go into executive session for personnel matters.
We have to,
It's just personnel matters.
yeah.
Oh, and we also have 2 AEDs I proposed too, so if you guys need them, the auxiliary and VFWs.
The 2 AEDs?
Or whatever.
We definitely need one.
Yeah. Because he's like looking at you.
I know, yeah, we got some bombs over
I mean,
there.
they're not donating, they're available if we would need to use them.
Right, if you're there.
I
and you
thought
guys-
she was
yeah.
donating.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, we'll take
They have one
it.
upstairs and one downstairs,
Yeah,
I
we have one
believe.
in the bar downstairs and one upstairs.
That's
for
what I
bingo.
was told.
So you know where to go get one if you need one, if that one don't work, there's one in the
If you're
VFW.
dying.
Just call us.
If they're there.
That's a good thing.
So did your officers, did they get trained on those yet?
So we still need to do our CPR training. I
Okay.
mean, we've all been through the training,
Right.
but we just need to be up to date on our training. We are looking out to find a nurse to come and certify us. So
Well, I know up where I work out, they do CPR training. I can reach out to the gentleman who does that and see what he says.
Okay.
And I'll let you know.
The fire department doesn't have someone who does
They
that.
don't do that.
They don't.
From they
They don't have someone that's certified.
That's unusual.
yeah.
They quit doing it, I believe.
Total Training up in Glenway does it too, and they'll come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking to a firefighter about that.
Yeah.
And
Because Bailey's just right up the hill, so, yeah, and he does them like, I think, twice a month. So I'll touch base with Kelly and see what he says.
Because I might have one coming up.
Yeah.
So. All right. Can you make a motion?
I make a motion to go in executive session, please.
Personnel matters.
For personnel matters.
I'll second it.
Motion by Kathy, to go in executive session, second by Al Glick for personnel matters.
I'll stay there and vote.
Call for the vote.
I'll let you get the vote.
Yeah, you got to
Dan,
vote for that first.
Dan Pillow, Jennifer Wiehe, Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow, Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.